What up, world? It's DJ Shakim, and right now you're checking out Connect the Dots, the podcast, all right? Connect the Dots, the podcast. Check it out on YouTube and all streaming platforms, all right? Peace.
Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, and I have a special guest, Tashanda Allen, is in the house.
Hey,
Pennsylvania, Philly, stand up. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't complain. Ready for the split personality?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
All
All
right.
right. So the first question I want to ask you is postpartum. Something women don't, you know, they don't. I mean, something men don't understand. In your own words, what is postpartum to you? Because we have a hard time understanding what postpartum is.
Postpartum to me is feelings, being in connect with your feelings. You just went through a lot. Postpartum comes after pregnancy, and it's just, like women nurture and take care of the baby. That's how we want somebody to nurture and take care of us during that time. So it's same
Okay.
like that, like nurture our feelings and just help take care of us. We just went through a rough time with
Right.
uh having a baby and thinking about different stuff. And stress, even though you bring in a new life in the world, stress comes with that too. So, and these are
Yes.
all thoughts. These are all thoughts you had while pregnant. So after you have the baby, it intensifies. If you understand what I'm saying, it just intensifies the feelings. Everything that you was feeling just deepens at that certain time, and it's
Okay.
just depression. Some women go into depression during the postpartum stage, and men don't understand it because, I mean, they're not feeling what we're feeling at that point.
Right. For me, it's hard because I mean, I've seen women go through it, and a lot of men we don't understand it because it's just like your hormones when you're pregnant. You have that, but men we have a hard time understanding it because it's like you're here, but you're here physically, but you're not here mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you're going through depression, you're going through a lot of different things. So for us, it's really hard to understand. That's why I have to, we have to ask women because some people go through postpartum differently than others.
Right, right. And some women don't go through it at all, believe it or not. Some women,
Mm,
they just, after that time phase of pregnancy, they just keep going. And you'll be like, hey, are you strong? Are you all right? But later on, I think those are the women that are suppressing those feelings, and you get it at the worst time,
right.
like say something happened later on down the line, like something we can't control. I think that's when that lashes out, all that comes out at once. If it's not shown at the beginning, it's shown later.
Mm,
So yeah.
mean. Okay, so I like that. I like that. What about being an independent, strong woman versus low esteem woman? Where can the two meet at? An independent woman and a woman with low self esteem. Where can they meet at? Because it seems like, that's up and down. How do you feel about that?
What I think, I think an independent woman has built herself from the low self-esteem part.
Mm,
Some people are raised, and honestly, some people are raised with self-esteem. Their parents instill in you, yo, you got this, face the world with a strong face, don't hold your head down, hold your head up high, no situation you experience. But independent women, they can be, but if you already grow up with those values, it's, to me, it's kind of hard unless you are instilling it in the younger person that's coming up after you. Then you can meet in
right.
the middle. Like if you're teaching younger women how to be independent, you can meet right there. But if it's somebody that's already, mature, and they still have low self-esteem versus an independent woman, I think those roads are just two different paths because it wasn't instilled in you. So her thoughts, the low self esteem thoughts, are just one way, and the independent woman, she's just strong, and she can relate. a little bit to the low self-esteem woman, but not exactly on the same page. I think independence come from definitely with women coming from people instilling in you as a young age.
Wow, I like that. I like that. For me, I don't see where they can meet, but I think that because my mother was a strong woman, you know what I mean, independent woman, and I watched what she did, and she never had low self-esteem. But I've seen more low self-esteem women than I've seen strong women as far as in my life. And I always used to wonder, well, how these two can meet to make them, as a whole, because your hand, one hand washes the other. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, in order to be a strong woman, you have to come from a lower self-esteem woman, which makes a lot of sense. So I wonder how one hand washes the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I
Hmm.
just don't think those two can ever meet because, like I said, it's kind of instilled in you as a young adult. And even the ones that it's not instilled in, you come a point in your life where, hey, I'm worth something, I'm worth something. Let me change this path because the way you started isn't the way you have to turn out. I could have started as a low self-esteem woman, and there could have been a something in my life that changed my view of things. Hey, I got to get it together. I'm strong. I got to value myself before anybody else value me.
Right. Exactly. I like that answer. So fears. What fears do you have, and are you willing to overcome your fears?
My fear, honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. My fear is leaving my daughter behind without the proper support of what a mother would do. I'm trying
Mm,
to build people around me that would take care of her as I would in my friend
right.
group, and that's my
Okay.
that's my only fear is like if something happened in this universe, just leaving her behind because only got one. She doesn't have
Right.
siblings, and that affect them too. So
Hmm.
that's my own, yeah, just leaving her behind and not having nobody to. They're not going to treat her exactly like I did, but at least if you knew me when I was around, some of the core values that I have with raising my daughter, and I expect
Right.
them to do the same. So that's one of my fears, and how I overcome it. I just, I raise her up around people that would nurture her sort of like me, not exactly the
Hmm.
same because your mother is your mother,
That's right. That's
irreplaceable.
right. Hmm.
But it's good to have like aunties or friends that have some of the same core values as you. So if something happened to you, and they had to guide them the rest of the way through life, or just have advice in their adulthood, I can depend on them because they knew who I was as a person. So
Wow. Okay. One of my fears is death. You know what I'm saying? I know eventually we're all going to die, but I
right,
always have that fear like how I'm going to die, when I'm going to
right,
die. How is my death going to be? Am I going to live to be 100? That's always been a fear of mine since I was a kid. Um, I don't know how to overcome it because, eventually we all going to go. But for me, it's like, I'm not curious because I want to live long, Lord, Lord, I want to live long. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a fear that I've always had. Death is one of my fears. And I don't even know how you know what I'm saying, to fix that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It's
And well, with
crazy.
death, it has to happen to everybody. So I can understand where you're coming from. More so, is how am I going to go? Who's going to be surrounding me? I had something real personal happen to me back in March, and
Right.
it concerned death. And it's just like when somebody close to you, when you lose somebody close to you and you're still alive, you start thinking about, oh wow, how am I going to go? When? And you actually kind of just literally makes you think, God for another day. So
That's true.
makes you
That's so
value
true.
that
Wow.
fear makes you value life, so you live it to the fullest.
Facts. I like that. Facts. Okay. What is one of the misconceptions about a woman in your mind?
That we're over emotional. That is a big.
Explain, explain.
sometimes sometimes our emotions are just expressing ourselves. It's not even being over emotional or like just soaking. It's literally an outlet to express ourselves. And women are internal, so it sounds like you being over emotional. It's just that we're expressing it a different way than the male would. Most males, they just like, I get over it, or whatever, I ain't worried about that. But women, they actually think on it, think of a solution, and
Hmm.
it's just misconstrued as being over emotional, like crying and attached to your feelings. You're always in your feelings. It's not. It's just that we like women like resolution. If a problem's
Okay.
happening, women like to fix it now. Men will be
Mhm.
like, I'm not worried about it. Go to sleep, whatever. Women, it's like we got to have a
Right.
solution now, but we're not being over emotional. But that's what people misconstrue about women.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Well, I can't answer that because I'm not a woman, so that's why I asked. But you know what I mean. So, um, why are older people so intimidated by the young world or the younger people?
Because they're feeling like the younger people are pushing them out,
Mm.
feeling like they're losing their wisdom. Because as time passes with new technology, new gadgets, people learn to grow. People find different ways to grow. Like older people might have a guaranteed 100% method that works, for them back in the day, the way they was raised on.
Hmm.
But a younger person, they don't even have to think about it or put that much action in. It's just click of a finger. So they just feel like the younger people are pushing them out of the ways and values they were taught. And
Mm.
I think that's making a fear with the older population. So
Hmm.
yeah,
For me, that's crazy because it seems like almost every job I've been in, I've witnessed this, and I've seen this, where the older person gets very intimidated by the younger person because he knows more. But I don't know why we fear this way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm speaking as an
right,
older head now. So,
right,
but for me, I'm never intimidated by the young person. If a young person knows more than me, that's great. I want him to learn more, and
right,
and even teach me. But it seems like with the older generation, it just seems like because of what we've been through, or what we was taught, it seems like we're very inferior to the younger minds, the younger generation, the young, even with the country. That's why the presidents stay old. They don't want a younger president because they're afraid of what the young mind might come up with, or he
right.
might, knock down the building blocks of what they have built for this country for what, 250 years. So it's kind of crazy.
Right. And just to add that, like I said, to add to what you're saying, yeah, the younger generation is they don't have to think anymore. It's basically at the tip of their fingertip. Anything they want to do. You had back then we had to work for what we wanted, and we had to actually study and learn. Now you don't have to do any of that anymore. It's just right there, and it makes the older generation. I worked so hard to get
Hmm.
here, and you just did it that quick. So that's always a thing to keep inside your head
That's
with
crazy.
those two.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so why are mothers nowadays not teaching their girls about being a wife and having wife qualities?
Because everything's fast, and the older ones not teaching them, because most of them try to be the younger ones' friends. A lot of them
Mm.
hang out with the younger ones, like an older mom. Now this is what I'm saying, like an older mom, even a grandma that's still living, she might
Hmm.
be hanging out with the younger daughter or niece in the club or so they're not teaching those core values, how to cook and stuff, because they don't care themselves. They did it, and they like, at this point in their life, they like, I'm tired of doing that, being the home ed. Let me see what this younger generation about. So they don't care about that anymore. They don't care to teach
Mm.
them to cook, clean, because everything everything is party with definitely with our culture. Mostly what I see, everything is just party. Oh, let's go to the club. Oh, I'm going to the concert. I'm going to a Snoop Dogg concert with my 15-year-old daughter,
Hmm.
so everything is just fun now. And I just feel like the older generation, older women, they just feel like they did it so long, they're at the point where they just, everything's on social media. If they want to learn how to cook, watch YouTube. So I
That's
just feel
true.
like
That's true.
that's where we come. I don't have to show you when the world is based on social media. So
Right.
yeah, and I think a lot of them think like that.
Yeah, that's true. For me, as you know, I have two daughters, well, actually three, and my stepdaughter, but she's three. So for me, it's like when I was coming up, I was watching mothers talk to their daughters. Don't do this. Don't do this. Have a man do this. Have this qualities. Have what they call it. I forgot what they call it. But have some class. Have this, and then get in the kitchen. You got to teach this. You got to cook. But nowadays, more men are cooking more than women. It seems like what I've seen. I don't know.
Or
Yeah, and then it's like because the moms are single moms and they're teaching their sons, look, don't depend on the woman because if you get into a fight, you need to learn how to cook, you need to learn how to eat, et cetera, et cetera. But I just don't understand that nowadays, people, I don't even think people want to be married. I mean,
no.
young kids don't even say, I want to be married. You don't even hear them saying that. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna be single. Like you said, go to the club, meet this dude, buy drinks at the bar, but the quality of life seems to be different. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And a lot of people don't want to get married anymore because, and I'm gonna throw you a curveball, because
Okay.
some married people have showed them that it's literally a piece of paper, because a lot of the younger generations watch most older people, still step out, do this, and they're like, what's the point of being married? I might as well stay single and be with everybody I want to be,
Right.
instead of having expectations of a marriage.
Mm,
So a lot of younger generation, even though social media and technology, they still watch older. Like if their parents are still alive, they still watch them, and if their parents are separated, they look like, wow, like you've been together 30, 50 years and then you just got separated out of nowhere. What happened? So
exactly.
it's just like they feel like y'all wasted all that time when I could have just stayed single and tested the waters. So that's how the younger generation think about marriage.
Wow. Shout out to Long. I'm seeing Long, and I don't know what else he's got with the words, whatever, but shout out to you, man, or lady. I don't know, but Long. Um, I got another question for you, okay?
Okay.
Why does the word submissive make women feel a certain way in a relationship or a marriage? The word submissive.
Honestly, because submissive makes me think now, like, women take submissive as I'm doing everything you say.
Mm,
I'm laying down the law. Be some be submissive. You be the submissive one. If I go out here and make the bread, women are working just as much as men now, so you can't use
right,
that as an excuse. But back then the men used to go out there and work while the women stayed home and cook. So
right,
that kind of became a submissive way. If the women stay at home, I go make the money and pay the bills. So women think nowadays, women think submissive is like the man's trying to control her.
right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Women associate submissive with control.
Why is that?
And it's 2026.
Right.
It's 2026, and women like, oh, I ain't listening to what he say. I ain't
Hmm.
being controlled now. Women rather be single than be submissive now, and it's just a thing. It's just a thing. It's really no feelings of it, but submissive we associate with control.
Because it seems like when you use that word, what I've seen when I have friends who married and stuff like that, and when they use that word, it seems like, oh, it's like your antenna comes up, the wall comes up. Oh, I ain't doing this. Oh, I'm not doing what he said. And it's not even about that. Submissive can be used in good ways. And you
Yeah,
don't even have to even use the word submissive. You know what I'm saying? You could just use
right.
the word reply. You know what I'm saying? Answer. Because really submissive is all about someone, telling you something, and it's up to you to follow or not. It's not, what I mean, it's really a question. But that
Right.
word gets everybody, in a tizzy.
Yeah, and to add on to what you're saying, submissive is just simple, plain as listening.
Right.
What I don't want to say command, but what you get asked of, if something get asked of you, like you said, it's your decision to decide right at that point. Either I'm gonna do it or I'm not, and it don't even have to turn to an argument about, oh, you telling me what to do. It's just compromise, meet in the middle. Okay, I don't want to do it this way. Can I do it this way?
Mm-hmm.
But women associate submissive with control.
Wow, that's crazy to me, man. So how do you handle betrayal from a close friend?
That's a good one.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
know.
Me personally, I'm one and done.
Hmm.
You only got to show me once. I don't even get
Right,
to the fool me twice, three times. I'm the fool. No, you only got to show me once, and you kind of know. Definitely women. Women know what
right.
kind of friends
Hmm.
that probably would cross that line. Women
Right.
always know. Women
Hmm.
always know. We just like to give other women the benefit of doubt, but betrayal, a woman always see it's coming. Even though somebody could say, "Oh, it's just in your head. It's just in your head. You're
Hmm.
imagining things." A woman always see it coming. Close friend, relatives is just we just see it coming. We sense it. And like I said, for me personally, it's just one and done. I'm not giving you another chance to make a fool of me. So,
Wow. For me, that's happened before. So I've had experiences with that. I had a close friend that did me dirty, and I let it. I was mad at that time for years, but then I mean, I'm not close to him anymore. I mean, if I see him, I speak, but it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? It was really like a messed up thing. And it's kind of hard when you really have a friend that's you really close to, and then they just stab you in the back. You know what I'm saying? And do it blatantly, not try to hide. It was like a blatant thing, and that's what made it even worse for me. So that's why I I I choose wisely who my friends are. You know what I'm saying? I
too.
choose wisely who I hang with, who my friends are, who has my back, who don't have my back, and I always got the third eye. He's always watching. When you think he ain't watching, he's watching. These ears is always listening, always. When you think he ain't listening, I'm listening. But because of that, because of what happened to me in my past with one of my close friends, I that made me who I am today because of that. Because I used to be, yeah, and then when that happened, that was it. That was it. Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, with women, we we do experience the ones we never see coming, but the
Hmm.
ones we never seen coming, we not upset because women are literally jealous of each other. You have some
Right.
women who are
I'm
praise
glad
and
you
give you
saying
the
that. Say that
flowers.
again,
Oh,
because
I'm
woman ain't
real.
gonna say
I'm
that.
real.
All
I'm
right.
real. Women become jealous of other women, just certain little things. It could be the silliest thing.
Mm.
Maybe a guy like the way she laughed, and then
Right.
they'll dwell on there in their head and make up stuff. But women always see betrayal coming to sum that up. We always see it.
Mm.
And
Mean.
usually when we find out who done it, when the person revealed themselves, we're never shocked because we always knew.
Wow, that's crazy. So tell me, I got two more questions for you. So, why do we want to always feel like we have to be accepted all the time?
Oh, that's a good one. Feel accepted. A lot of people just want to feel like they belong to something, no matter
Hmm.
what it is, they just want to feel like they're a part of something.
Mm.
Because when most people, when they're not a part of something, they live a lonely life, believe it or not. It's a lot of people that live a very, very lonely life because they're not a part of something. So majority of the time it's just you want to feel like you're a part of something, or you want to try to change something that's not going right, or you just want to be a better person for yourself, and you just need somebody to guide you. So
Mm.
yeah.
When I think of that, why do we always want to be accepted? It's kind of like a theory for me. It's kind of like um, a little kid wanting to hang out with the big guys. You know what I'm saying? Or a
Right.
kid infatuated with drug dealers because they got cars and they got money. When I think of something like that, I feel like we've always had to prove something to somebody, especially us, the black race. We always had to prove that we're better at what we do. We're this, we're that. And I think that comes with that. And plus where we've come from, competition. I think, we're both from the city. So it's like competition. You had to deal with who was the best dresser, who was the best, who was the best guy, the rapper, who was the best, person that get girls, who was the best. You know what I'm saying? It was always competition, I think. And I think people see that and they want to hang in with you because they feel like, okay, this the popular clique. I'm gonna hang with that. And then when you move down south, people want to hang with you just because you're from the north or the way that you talk, your accent. And it's just like people I think go to the extreme to be accepted. I mean, that's just with anything. We see it every day at work too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We see it at work. So it's kind of weird, for me, it's weird.
Yeah, and that just ties back into, I know you mentioned it about women, that just ties back into your own personal self-esteem. You got to
Hmm.
be able to have you got to be able to know yourself to not want to belong just because somebody got clothes, or just because somebody from up north. You got to know who you are, and that
That's
applies
right.
to work, outside environment, friends, any state you go to. You got to know who you are first, and belonging to somebody won't even matter if you know who you are, because if you know who yourself are, you automatically attract the type of people that you click with. So
Mm. Okay, so this is a good question coming up right here. I wanted to see how you're going to answer this one. The man always feels like he is second in a relationship when it comes to the kids, when it comes to the church, when it comes to the ladies' friends. We always feel like we're second because when you go to churches, it's the pastor said, the pastor said. When Christmas comes, the kid gets everything he wants. The man tells you what he wants. He be getting gifts he didn't even ask for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm just saying. He be getting gifts he didn't even ask for. Like, yo, where this come from? So it's like, why do we feel like that we are always second? I just want to know, and why are we treated second? I mean, the kids get whatever they want, but us, we don't.
I got a good answer for this one. You know why?
Why?
Because the man is like, I don't care about that. I don't care what you get me. And instead of just saying what you truly see, women do it when y'all ask us, oh, what you want, what you want to eat, or what's wrong with you. You know how when you ask a woman what's wrong with you, she'll beat
Hmm.
around the bush, beat around the bush. Men sort of do the same thing.
Yeah, we
Like
do.
when
We
women
do.
try to approach the man, oh, I don't care about that. You go ahead and do that. You go talk to them, or get the
Hmm.
kids what they want. I don't really care about Christmas, stuff
Hmm.
like that. And women hear that over and over from men, so they start believing it. So yeah, I'm get the kids what they want. When I go to church, you gonna tell me, oh, I don't want to go to church with you and your friends. Okay, so I'm gonna go to church by myself.
Right, right,
So this
right.
is things y'all say. So when we start doing it, it's not that we put y'all second to everybody else. You made yourself second because it's all, I don't care about that. Go ahead, I'm gonna stay home and watch football, which we respect the football because women like the
Uh-huh.
football, but if the pastor is having an anniversary at church, you're like, I ain't going to the anniversary. I'm just going. I'm gonna stay home and watch football.
That's
You put
true.
yourself second. Oh, you don't have to spend all this money on a gift for me, but tell me what you really want. If you really
But
want something, tell me that.
see, my thing is if we put y'all second, it's gonna be problems. You know what I mean? Just think about it. If we start putting your second, oh well, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. What about me? Well, I'll get you when you get back. I'm gonna go hang out with my son. What about me? You know what I mean? I'm gonna go out eat with the fellas. What about me? So when I look at it, it just seems like a lot of people I know, they're second. We always gotta take a back seat to a kid. Or if you date a woman who and the kids are not his, you still got to take a back seat, or theirs. You still got to take a back seat to that, because you got to see how these kids act. And if you try to discipline the kid, then the mother be like, "Don't be talking to my kids like that." We take back seats to a lot of stuff all the time, and then it's like we sit back and we want, because this is what men talk about at barbershops. We talk about it at
Right.
barbershops. You know what I'm saying? We have our little gatherings. We talk about, yo, man, you second, what did you get for Christmas? I got a Bible. What? A Bible? I didn't ask for this. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if we get y'all stuff that you didn't ask about, you're gonna be wondering, what's this? You're gonna tell your friends, girl, guess what? He bought me shoes that didn't even fit me. He don't even know my size. But it's the thought that counts. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? It's the thought that counts. And that's what you would tell us too. It was the thought that counts. But the kid gets everything they want no matter what. They can be bad. They can be having F's on their report card. They get everything. Us, we get the hand-me-downs. You know what? I'm just gonna give him this. I'm just going. He wanted that. He wanted a $40 drill. I'm gonna give him a $10 drill. That's just how it is, you know?
Yeah, but in the same token, men don't express themselves either. You don't express yourself about that. Like if you're telling me go ahead, go on, I'm gonna watch the game or get what you want me as a gift. If you telling me to get, make me decide on what to get you. If I get you what something you don't like, you should have expressed yourself and let me know. That's just how I feel about the whole situation. It's not that y'all come second. It's just that women overly express themselves, but men don't express themselves enough. And there are women out there that listen to men talk. They just don't like to
Yeah.
talk because their first thing is, "Oh, why you think something wrong with me? Leave me alone. Why you keep asking me that?" Because we know something is wrong. But it
well,
turns
like well,
into
well, like women say, it's how you say it, right? Just like
right.
y'all might have an attitude when y'all say it. So we the type of person, nah, she got an attitude. I'm just gonna sit this one out. We
But
could
that
tell by
attitude,
voice how your voice is. No, we ain't. I ain't going there today. You know what I'm saying? So it's weird, but I like to have these uncomfortable talks, because that's the only way we're gonna find out what's going on.
right,
You
but
know?
some women, when with the attitude, is not necessarily an attitude of for you to like go away. We want to express ourselves. That means we got something to talk about. And if you sense a little bit of attitude and you like, oh, I'm not going to deal with that today. Okay, so we're holding it in day one, day
Hmm.
two, and day three. We ready to cuss you out because look, all I did was want to talk. We can talk without raising our voice, without arguing,
Right.
but attitude isn't always attitude. It might be just she just need to vent. She might have had a hard day at work. Same with men. They just might
Okay.
need to vent instead of saying I don't want to hear this right now. So
Okay. So I'm gonna try something new on split personality. So I'm gonna give you one question that you can ask me. So this is something new on split personality. One question you can ask me.
what, and this is a tough one. If you had to choose anything, what would you change about yourself right now or your life right this moment if you
Woo.
had the chance?
Oh man.
Yeah, I had to put you on the spot.
Yeah, that is on the spot. Man. I think for me, I want to say certain lifestyle things that I do. That I should be doing. Like I was saying the other day, I'm not where I need to be. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Everybody has a glass ceiling, and I'm not. I didn't reach that glass ceiling yet. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm halfway there to my standards. You know what I'm saying? Because I have standards. You know, that's what keeps me going. Standards and goals. And I feel
Right.
like my standards are not where I need to be at. I think that's the one thing I would change my standards and my goals because they're not where they need to be. That's the one thing I would change is my standards
Okay.
and my goals. They need to be where I need them to be.
I can dig it. I dig
Yeah.
it. That's all right.
Yeah. So that's basically it.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So thank you for coming on the show, first of all.
You welcome.
And like I tell everybody, and I say it again, welcome to another episode of Connected Dots. I'm your host, Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, with my special guest from Philly, Tashanda Allen in the place.
All right.
Yes, thank you for
Thank
coming
you
on
for
Split
having me on the
Personality.
show.
Oh, anytime. Thank you for coming. Connect these dots. One life, one love, one Lou. Peace.
All
Thank you. I
right. Peace.
appreciate you. All right.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.